Now, you talk about a lot of pushing and shoving and doing different things. You also talked about the Mongolian wrestlers with almost judo techniques. As a wrestler, do you ever look at other forms of grappling to maybe help you to maybe train in judo, or to me, training in something like sumo wrestling could also help just to push people out of the ring and score points that way? Do you ever look at other grappling arts to integrate into the wrestling?
Well, I did judo for, 8 years.
Oh, okay.
While I was wrestling. I'm a brown belt in judo and competed in judo to help my wrestling. And just to take things from the sport that I could use in wrestling. Doing judo for so long, I developed a foot sweep that ended up being one of my techniques that I was doing on everybody. And it's hard to take other sports because judo is probably the most similar to wrestling than any other sport. Because you can't go to your back, because if you get thrown to your back, you lose the match, so you're fighting not to go to your back. Whereas, jiu-jitsu and grappling, you can roll around on your back. Yeah. So it's kind of counter to what wrestling's all about. So even the defenses in grappling are different. Because you go for a leg, people will give it to you and try and guillotine you or go to their backs. And it's all kind of backwards compared to wrestling. But choosing different techniques from different types of martial arts, yeah, you can try and do that if it fits into your sport for sure.
Now, I know that you started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're saying how it's the opposite of wrestling and stuff like that. How are you enjoying it? How are you adapting to that?
Oh, it's just a fun sport to do. Especially with Fabio Holanda, he's a great coach. Teaches tons of technique, and I helped him out a lot in wrestling, so he really helps me out in jiu-jitsu. When we were in Las Vegas for the fight with Patrick Cote, him and I were rolling almost every day and just going through all the basics with me and teaching me how to get out of arm bars and choke holds, and it was really fun. Just a really fun workout.
And of course, you are Patrick Cote's wrestling coach. Has he talked about when he might be fighting next? Do you know who he might be fighting or when?
He hasn't told me anything about that. We're just training and focusing on developing his skills, and until a call comes and an offer is there, we really don't know what's going on.
When you were in Las Vegas, what gym did you train at, or were you guys rolling in your hotel room?
Well, we were at the MGM, and downstairs in the warm-up area, they had a bunch of mats set up. So we would go down there and do our workout with Pat, so he can cut his weight and stuff. And then we would go down. We would just stick around for an extra 45 minutes, an hour, and just roll and do a bunch of rounds. It was a good workout.
Now, in 2011, the 1996 Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle revealed that he was going to make a bid for the 2012 Olympics. At 43 years old, do you think that he would have fared well if it wasn't for a knee injury that prevented him from competing?
Well, there's no denying that Kurt Angle was a great wrestler at the time that he was wrestling. Very explosive, very dynamic, high intensity, just went after his opponents, and very, very fun to watch him wrestle. But at 43 years old, after being away from the sport for so long, it would have been really hard and just a little, I don't know, in my opinion, a little unrealistic to make the Olympic team in 2012.